Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toku Portal podcast for Mashin Sentai Kiramager. I am Vashi V, and joining me today is.
Right. Welcome to episode 14. Okay, first of all, I have to say something. That was like an almost instant start. What happened?
I have no idea. It was literally as soon as you hit the button, it popped live on YouTube. That's the first that's happened.
Okay. Uh, uh, so,
Because I was in there counting, and it popped up. I'm like, shit.
yeah, because there's a green light that flashes on OBS when you're actually live. I discovered that when we were timing it to figure it out. I realized, like, oh, hey, the timing lines up. So when that green light goes live, like, we're actually live. And it was there immediately, and I was like, wait, what?
YouTube fixed their shit apparently for now.
Or
Until they break
something.
it again. Until they break it again.
So, last week, Sayo? Pink?
Yeah, Sayo, I think so.
Sayo helped Takamichi find the location of the next treasure. This week, we open up with Takamichi actually going for it now that he has his drill. He discovers an underground temple of some kind. But that's not important because he's just looking for the one treasure buried in the wall. Juro is there offering to help, but Takamichi just kind of shoves him aside and digs it up himself. And it's a new Kirame stone. Another earth one. This one capable of talking. Though Takamichi refers to it as a child.
Which I guess makes sense, I guess. I will admit it was adorable watching Juru pull out the little collapsible shovel. I'm gonna help you dig. Stand back, let the big boys do this.
Oh, he won't even let me help dig!
Why would he let you help? He has a freaking magical jackhammer.
For real, that shovel wasn't getting anywhere anyways.
Mm-mm. Not in that. Shovel was making scratches and that's it.
But whatever Takamichi is looking for, it's not Kirame stones. Uh, so Juro gets to keep this one. Which Takamichi is like, why would you even want that?
They have to quantify the Jolly Rancher for some reason. Which, given everything that we know about Takamichi at this point, it does make sense that he'd go, yeah, no, don't need it, don't want it, don't care. Why do you want it?
Uh, onto this week's monster, Steam Locomotive Jamenchi. He's got no time to stop and fight. He's got to go.
Uh, what a great, stupid monster.
As he,
Like, my favorite thing about it is, like, he's coming out the tunnel and they're like, wait, it's, the giant monster? Is like, no, it's just the small one. Shit.
a train. Oh no, is it Garuza? Nope. Nope. Just a train monster.
For a series that's not Tokuger, this has a lot of train references.
For a series that isn't a dinosaur one, it has a giant dinosaur in it.
Yeah, there's that too. It's the great thing about parody series. They can get away with this stupid shit.
Whatever
Like
sells
this
toys and keeps our show on the air.
this is one of those things. Like you kind of bitched about it with Ninja, which since you had watched it,
Yes.
that
What did I say?
the about how the mechs have no consistency or thing.
So they explain it early on, when Dead Grandpa is like, I made them based off of their favorite things. You know, when they
Which
were like 8.
right, which makes sense, but thematically,
Right,
they
no.
have no connection.
It's literally just whatever their favorite thing was when they were a kid. So red was shinobi because he wanted to be a ninja. White like dogs. Pink like trains. Blue likes dragons, and I don't even remember what yellows was. I think it was a dump truck.
Yeah, it was a dump truck. He
What
likes
the
the Tonka
fuck?
toys.
He,
But like this one is like it has the consistency for mechs of they're all vehicles of some sort.
right, it's a machine themed thing.
Right. But in terms of like the types of vehicles, yeah, they don't add up.
No, it's just that they are
It's just the
vehicles.
fact that they're vehicles. And I like that because it lets you have oddly thematic mechs that are like because you could have a train with a jet or two trains connecting to become a bigger train or a pirate train, whichever one you want to call it. Or a giant freaking crane that it a drill. It adds thematically it ties everything together with them being able to be unique rather than oh well they're all rescue vehicles or they're all vehicles filled with the power of turbo.
Speaking of dump trucks, though, the monster fucking barrels past Juru, and he nearly fucking drops the new Kirame stone into the back of a dump truck. And if it wasn't for Cena,
Oh. Well, correction, garbage truck, not dump truck.
okay,
But yeah, if not for Senna, they would have been gone.
um, so yeah, none of them can stop the locomotive except for Silver because he's strong. He's apparently as strong as a train monster. And
Further
then,
proof needed, because there was further proof needed for him to be a badass.
but then the others come to help, and uh, they kind of get in the way just a little bit. And so the monster gets away because Takamichi and Tamitono are too busy yelling at each other to notice it even walk away. The
So,
monster even does a double take to make sure he's not being followed.
so I'm going to defend Silver Takamichi in the aspect of he said he did tell them to get the hell out of the way.
Uh, I'm going to say that that doesn't matter because the important thing right now is the monster right in front of you and not to yell at
Well,
them.
right, but this is standard Six Ranger introduction though.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of conflict where they don't want to work with the team at first.
Which, to be fair, is usually drawn out more than an episode.
Yeah, no, this guy, his turnabout is a lot quicker than some of the others that we get. Like, fucking Akira didn't even work against them, but just convincing him to be in their team.
Around.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
so,
because like Akira was more, hey, I happened to be in the area, so I helped you. That was his thing. Is like he wasn't necessarily working against them, but he wasn't actively going out of his way to help them.
so Takamichi has a flashback to him working with Mabushina on redecorating a room and thus moving furniture around. When Garuza walks in and convinces Takamichi that he can get things done better by himself. And Takamichi, believing it, continues to move the furniture by himself and gets it done faster.
In this particular instance, he wasn't wrong.
But it was the mentality that was the problem.
Right. Because the mentality was, screw you, I don't need help. Which, to be fair, screw you, he didn't need help. But that wasn't the
But
purpose of
just
Mabushina
because you
wanting to move the throne with
can
him.
do it alone doesn't mean you need to do it alone.
Right. It doesn't necessarily mean you should. Because, like, for that particular instance, that was more of a like Mabushina and him spending time together, kind of thing. Or in the viewpoint of Mabushina, anyways. And
Uh,
he didn't understand that
So Juru and Takamichi go and take a bath together while everyone else waits outside.
because, of course, they're waiting outside.
It's at a hot spring. Takamichi is staying inside too long for some reason.
Because to be a man, you must endure.
I don't know what he's thinking he's going to accomplish. The others get a report about the path that the locomotive is taking, and they realize he's running in a giant circle. Oh, and, the bathhouse is along the way.
I do want to point something out only because part of it ends up being relevant later in the episode. Can we point out the whole reason why they're at that particular hot spring?
Why were they at that particular one?
Because what the fuck is his name? Blue.
Shigeru.
Shigeru
Oh,
flirted with the fucking woman who runs it so they could use it while it was before it opened.
quarantine.
Which caused her to, try to vacuum up the Jolly Rancher.
Oh, right. The new Kirame stone. And Juru had to be like, no, that's not trash.
Like the vacuum was gonna pick it up anyways. But yeah, stuff like the fact that I find it hilarious that he used his powers of flirting.
His powers of, hey, I'm on TV.
Yeah. The middle-aged woman crushing on TV stars to get something, early access to something. That was great. I thought that was a nice nod to reality.
So, the locomotive destroys the bathhouse with Takamichi still inside. So when he breaks through the rubble, he's in just a towel. And when I say he's in just a towel, I mean he doesn't have his Kirame changer on him. He left that in his locker, so he can't even fight the monster.
I do like the fact that he's dumb enough to go through the motions of transforming entirely
I
before
mean,
realizing he didn't have the
it's
damn thing.
muscle memory. It's like checking your watch and then realizing that you're not wearing it.
But here's the thing. When you go to check your watch, you immediately know you're not wearing it. For him to change, he has to touch the damn thing.
Yeah, but like he just like goes
And he
to
still did
spin
the
it.
whole.
Yeah, like he goes to spin it in muscle memory, like he makes the pose and then realizes like, wait a second.
So, and this is just to further my proof that this is stupid. Funny, but stupid. Have you ever moved your mouse? Like, picked it up and moved it to a different position?
Yes.
And then gone to move your mouse on the screen, reaching to where the mouse was.
Yes.
How long does it take for you to realize that there's no mouse under your hand?
I don't
Do
know,
you sit
2
there and
seconds?
but you don't sit there and like try to move your mouse across the screen and then go, why is this not working? And then look down?
No.
That's my point. The sense of touch, regardless of muscle memory, there's a sense that would impede that. To make you go, shit. Rather than going through the whole thing going, and then going, shit.
So,
But it was still funny as hell.
Takamichi, unable to dig his changer out of the rubble alone, realizes being alone isn't making him stronger, like he was told. It's finally occurred to him that maybe, just maybe, Garuza lied to him.
I thought that was clear last episode.
Apparently not.
Because last episode it was literally, I'm not going to listen to you anymore because you lied to me.
Nah, but like he still because he thought he got that advice from when Garuza was still a good guy, so he held on to it from the perspective of this is when he was still worth listening to. And it's now
Right.
occurring to him that no, Garuza was always a piece of shit.
But yeah, like this is the quickest turn we've had in a that wasn't damn near instantaneous.
So while the others fight the monster, Juru has an idea and he runs back to Takamichi and starts drawing. And Takamichi comments, "Are you drawing me while I'm like this?"
I swear that adds to his pose.
No, Juru is drawing a garbage truck
Yeah,
for the new Kirame stone. Calling in the Tametono squad or whatever, the Shovelo squad.
the Shovelo Squad,
Uh,
which Tametono is the one who sent them. So the fact that Tametono is calling them the Shovelo Squad, I enjoy because that's a nice little nod to the joke that they did at the end of that.
the new Mushin is Dust On, and together they are able to help clear the rubble and get to Silver's changer.
And Justice Changer.
Yeah, he still doesn't have his clothes, but it doesn't matter because Cena called in. Cena called in Mach to pick them up and give them a ride to the fight, and when they get there, they're already transformed. And it finally occurs to Takamichi that, like, when you work together, you can get things done faster, or more effectively at the very least.
And like it's like I said, it's like this is one of the quickest turns. It's like, and it as dumb as this is for a rushed version of this plot that we've gotten with pretty much every extra ranger that we've had. For this show, it works perfectly. And then, of course, this just drives, Takamichi to want to do that because they want to play the pronoun game.
Right. So we get our new roll call with 6 members. And our new pose.
Like your French girls.
Yeah, no, so the pose, I didn't screen cap it, but everyone else is the same, but now Silver is here, and his addition to the pose is to be front and center, lying down on his side in one of those draw me poses.
And of course, he's front and center.
I still have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at. Like, okay. Sayo, her Mushin is a helicopter, and Shigeru, his is a jet. And so he's got his arms spread out kind of like jet wings, not really. But Sayo, like, he's holding her up in the air, and she's like Superman. And then Tametono is standing there, like, legs spread, like, taking a stance position, because he has to, because Cena is wrapping her entire body around him. And then Juru is just, like, halfway, yeah, he's halfway to a split, like, presenting something.
And there's Draw Me Like Your French Girl.
What the fuck is this pose supposed to convey? What am I supposed to feel when I look at this? Normally when Sentai teams do the roll call, I like to imagine the monster's perspective of like, oh man, these guys are serious, or these guys are scary, or hell, these guys are kind of, tough, or whatever. Even like sometimes, hey, these guys are a little bit goofy, but I know I'm supposed to take them seriously. I can't even figure that out with this.
This has been the most contrived what the fuck pose that we've ever had. And I swear it's literally just one of those, we're gonna do it because we can. If nothing else, it's very unique. But yeah, this is one of the dumbest poses we've had, and fits perfectly with the parody series.
So, in the spirit of working together, Uh, Juru comes up with a plan to stop the locomotive's black smoke, which is the issue. But he needs the monster to be held still, so Takamichi goes, "Alright, I'll hold him still, and you guys can do your thing." And then Dustin comes in to deliver the compressed rubble, which is small enough to be football shaped, and so they play, Go Ranger ball with it.
Which is a nice homage to uh, Susumu Yoshikawa. Susumu, or however you pronounce that. I apologize for mispronouncing the name of the guy who created and produced, sorry, not created, produced Hichimu Sentai Go Ranger and Space Sheriff Kavan, who passed away.
Susumu Yoshikawa. You will be missed, but your legacy lives on. So they clog up the locomotive's exhaust pipe. And Garuza walks in and is like, "Hey, you can borrow my dino train, I guess. We'll see how that goes." Also, enough darkness was gathered, so the giant Jamenju is also here. Calling in, and then Takamichi is a declaration to Garuza of like, "Hey, I'm not stronger alone. I have friends now. I have 5 friends." And then the stones show up and they're like, "You have more than 5.
So we have 5,
9, 10.
14. He has 14 friends because you have the 3 support ones and Dust on. Plus King Express, which would be 15.
Plus his little brother.
But does the little brother count as friend?
I don't know.
I mean, usually there's some sort of sibling rivalry, headbutt thing.
But... I mean, they seem to get along.
Yeah.
Outside that whole build my machine in like 30 minutes when it would take 2 hours to Basco.
I mean, he was a selfish asshole at that point. That changed because he took a bath.
Silver gets to use King Express Liner or whatever it's called to steal the dino train. And just straight up eject the steam locomotive from it, and it gets stepped on by the giant Jamenju.
I love the fact that they showed him getting ejected. Just a little small boink, and then yes, getting stepped on.
The Jamenju is releasing some kind of toxic gas or whatever, and then Drew realizes like, how can we suck that up? Oh wait, vacuum cleaner.
Balls.
And so Dustin, the garbage truck, also turns into a vacuum cleaner when it used by the giant mechs.
And for no goddamn explanation whatsoever, that makes sense.
Because that's what Juru needed at the time.
Right. Like, it makes sense for the steamroller to be a hammer and also a steamroller. And it makes sense for the forklift to be a fork. Don't remember what the truck one to be a shield. Like, those make sense. This turning into a vacuum cleaner, just my brain literally just goes, "You watched Spaceballs, thank you for acknowledging that."
So we don't get to see the giant drill this episode. Maybe soon. Yeah.
But can we point out something? Apparently the heads of these giant monsters, apparently they're just masks.
Oh yeah, they sucked off the mask. Unless that was like a gas mask for whatever toxic thing he was spewing out.
It was literally the train head. And there was like a evil like monster head underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I said, the rules of normal shows
Uh,
don't
Yeah,
apply.
what are the
Parody,
rules
have
here?
fun. The rules are parody, have fun.
Uh, Ending
Because
dance. Oh, go on.
because now that well that and that leaves the question of, well, are they just masks on the little guys too?
Like, what monster you are is determined by what mask you wear.
Yeah.
Are they?
So,
Is this like Is this like Geki Ranger rules where the monsters are just the stronger versions of the grunts, and so like it's whatever grunt is like proved himself at being strong, just puts on a mask to assume that identity.
I mean, it's the only thing that, canonically would make sense with the fact that the giant monster heads come off
All right,
and they're just masks.
so what point do we find out that the monsters were just bribing their way into higher rankings the whole time?
Once Tarantula gets his ass kicked by plain red light, green light. Fucking hell.
I still love that episode of Geki Ranger. Like she was sending out all these warriors the whole series, and you find out most of them were just bribing their way in.
Which explains why they got their asses handed so often.
Yeah. So
Mellow, you wonderful woman.
So the ending dance is slightly updated to include Takamichi, but unfortunately we do not get some sort of stupid drill dance from him.
We don't have him going or
Or,
whatever the fuck he would do.
or like, or fucking
Yeah,
whatever.
No, but we still get the fire truck ladder. God, this show, man.
So next
Oh,
week,
this is a. Or go ahead.
I was gonna just talk about the preview. You can go on.
Uh, this is one of those shows where, in its own right, it took a little minute. It took a minute for it to get traction, just like any new Sentai does. And most of the traction that this show got initially was the fact that everything about it is a parody show. It comes across as a parody show, whether or not they intended it to be or not. I'm going with that they intended it to. It makes a lot more fucking sense. But it's starting to stand on its own right in of itself. Like, if they took the parody aspect out of it, this would still be a great show. Because the characters are heartwarming enough and react fairly normally in situations. And the current plot of the show is interesting enough in its own right. So I'm happy with where we're at. 14 episodes into it. I'm okay with the switch for Silver going from no, I'm not gonna help you guys unless I want to yeah, you guys are my friends. Really fucking quick.
Like, I was thinking about this the other day, where like Sentai was in a really rough patch for a while, where alright, Ninja wasn't great. Zyuohger was pretty bland and generic. Kyuranger got better. Um, so you had a really rough patch where three in a row were just under par. But then Loopy Ranger versus Power Ranger. Amazing series, even if it did poorly on toy sales. Real Soldier, amazing series. And now Key Ranger is shaping up to be an amazing series. Like, I am actually really satisfied with it so far. Most of my complaints are just stupid nitpicks.
Right. And a lot of those stupid nitpicks can be just brushed aside with the ever growing parody. It and which I think would be part of their reasoning for doing it is it gives them excuse to do stupid things, like the unexplained switching from scenes, magically having clothes when you're got accidentally thrown away in rubble. Though at least they had him transform instead of just show up with his outfit on. Um,
That weird gotcha joke a while back.
But like it runs off very well being able to brush everything off as parody for the stuff that's kind of dumb or seems to be of not thought out or storyboarded right or produced right or whatever the case may be. It also gives the excuse of, well, we're gonna go back to like the 80s styles monsters, which there's a reason we got away from that type of monster, but it all works exceptionally well, even if you ignore that parody aspect of it. Like like you said, it's like most of the stuff that gets brushed aside, it's all nitpick worthy stuff. Of like I said, it's like the biggest one that for in the last few weeks that for me was the disappearing vehicles and the unexplained scene change or set change, not scene change, set change. That's like the biggest one. Is like, but again, it's fucking Sentai. What do you expect? You're here for the fight, not things to be canonically or continuity 100%. Like, but this is a show that 14 episodes in feels like it should be where it's at. Not that it's you know 10 episodes behind where it should be or 20 episodes ahead. Fucking Q Ranger never figured that out till the very end.
So next episode, Takamichi is now willing to work with the team, but Mabushina is still upset with him, and so he's got some sincere apologizing to do to get her to forgive him.
Yeah, just pick her up and spin her around. She'll be fine.
She's not a
It is that
kid
point where she's.
anymore.
This is very like I get the whole mentality that she has and all that, and it's very valid and all that. It's like, but this is a parody thing. You know that would work. Treat her like you did before you left, and you'll be fine.
Here's the thing: treating her like he did before he left, as we saw, he was already cutting her out.
Well, I meant like before that, because the last good thing we saw him do was literally that.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, he does it in the preview too.
So, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow for Kamen Rider 01, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you all for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, and then we'll be back again next week for the extra special competition of red light, green light on Kiramager.